full coverage with your host, Manny and
Laura Lee.
With it, wrong with it.
Hey.
I feel like now that I've had a couple of sips of that Celsius, I'm a little hyper now.
It woke you up.
So get prepared for this journey that we're about to be on.
All right.
I like your hair like this, by the way. This is like, I feel like not like a new style for you, but it feels like different.
Well, thank you. That's actually my peak this week.
No.
So how
the
perfect.
bayang.
I got the bayang.
The bayang.
The bayang. So you guys, my hair just needed cleaned up, and I hate going to the hair salon because it takes an eternity.
Girl, when you texted me after you left, I said, you've been there for 5 hours.
5 hours. 5 hours. I had to get my roots dyed. My whole head dyed to even out the color and a chop and a style. And it was a hard 5 hours. And I was losing my mind. And I was like, this is why I never come to the hair salon. Granted, went there the mindset knowing like what it was. I wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe it took this long. Like I knew what I was getting myself into. But this is also why I do my hair at home with box hair dye. Happily, 30 minutes in, a washout, you're done. But like once or twice a year, I'll bop into the hair salon, do a 5 hour day, and just get them to clean I know. It's rough.
That's rough, dude.
And I love the people who do my hair, so don't get me wrong. Like, trust me, I enjoy their company. But 5 hours is a lot to be sitting in a chair getting work done.
I get a little antsy. Like, I feel like I'd get a little like, all right, I need to fucking do a mile.
Tell me why because it was like 5 hours. So I brought a bag of barbecue potato chips with me because I was like, I'm going to be hungry. My appointment was like at 11. So I'm going to miss lunch and I'm going to get out of there late. So I brought a bag of Lay's barbecue potato chips and everybody's like, oh, so funny. You bring snacks or you're eating in the middle of your appointment. And I was like, I'm hungry. And before it was over, everybody in there had their hand in the bag.
No.
Yes. I'm like, you want some? And they're like, and I'm like, I know.
They're all bawling. They're like, I would love some.
Yeah. And everybody had their hand in the chip bag. Thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage.
ZocDoc is a free app where you can find amazing doctors and book appointments online. And we're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance and are located near you and treat almost any condition you can literally be possibly searching for, and it's free.
Go to ZocDoc.com/fool and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/fool. ZocDoc.com/fool.
Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. OneSkin addresses skin health at the molecular level, targeting the root causing of ages so skin behaves, feels, and appears younger. It's time to get started with your new face, eye, and body routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with code FOOL at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code FOOL. We only have one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with OneSkin. Thank you so much to Ritual for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage. You guys, the thing with our skin and just in general, there's a gradual loss of hyaluronic acid in the skin as we age. And over time, the skin becomes thinner, drier, and more prone to wrinkles, which is why we want to meet Miss Hyacera, a once daily supplement from Ritual designed to promote skin support from within with clinically proven ingredients to minimize wrinkles after 90 days. Reduce wrinkles without compromising on clean science. Hyacera from Ritual is a skin supplement you can actually trust. Ritual is offering our listeners 30% off during your first month. Visit ritual.com/fool to start Ritual or add Hyacera to your lineup today.
But anyways, that's my peak, honey. I did it. I love the way it came out. Thank you. I love the way it came out. We took off like 4 inches. You know how they say
You know what's crazy? It doesn't look like you even took off 4 inches to me.
Well, you know, whenever it's you and you're used to dealing with your hair.
You can tell.
But I don't even care because I said take off 2 inches. And in hair cutter world, that means 4.
No.
Yes.
So if it's like take off 1 inch, they're gonna take off 2.
You're losing 2. And like you have to know that. Like getting a haircut, you like as a girl or anyone out there with longer hair, like long hair. If you say 2, just double it. That's what you're getting 4. That's just hard and fast. I don't know why it's like that.
I've seen a lot of traumatic haircut videos on TikTok. I don't know why they come to me.
Well, I saw this really interesting TikTok where the girl had the measuring tape turned backwards and the hairdressers had to pull what they thought 5 inches was.
And it was 10.
90% of them were pulling way over 5 inches, which literally the point of the video is proving
that it's not the correct amount.
You're not going to get what you're going to get what they think you should have, not what you want.
This one girl, she posted a video. She was like, oh, this is what I'm showing the girl coming in. And it was like this really pretty, like kind of like to her shoulder length that was kind of like wavy, and she had like longer hair. She
probably had like a bunch of little choppy layers.
Yes, it was sick.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's so stunning. And then she's like, what actually happened? When I tell you, it was giving Lord Farquaad. It was like to right here, and it was like straight, and she was bawling her eyes out. And I was like, dude, this is so traumatizing.
I have never gotten a straight up bad haircut.
Right.
I've only been traumatized because many times in my life I've had really long hair.
Right.
I've had short hair too. We all know that. But many times I've had long hair. And the only way a hairdresser has traumatized me is by chopping all my hair off when I've asked them not to. They've gotten me. And it wasn't a bad haircut. It's just like my hair was gone.
Right. Like, do you think it's because they layer too much? Like, why is it that they will cut so much off? Like, I'm so confused by that.
I'm convinced. I'm not a hairdresser, and maybe hairdressers, you guys are hair cutters, hairstylists, you guys can chime in here.
Yeah.
I'm convinced for 3 reasons. 1, they don't fucking know what 2 inches is. They don't know their measurements, so they don't get what they're doing. 2, they don't care what you ask for. They're chopping off how much they think needs to be chopped off based off how much dead hair you have. So they're not like, oh, well, even though it's dead hair, she doesn't want to cut.
All hair's dead.
Yeah, it's technically they cut off like the damaged hair, and so it'll look good. But to me, it's like that wasn't up to you. It's up to what the client wants.
Of course.
But hairdressers are bad about like cutting off what they think and know damaged hair. It's better. And then my third thing is I forgot.
That's a good one.
So I don't even know.
The third one I think is the most important. Yeah, I know. It definitely, whenever I see, it's always like, I always feel like I see like anyone with long hair that go in with a certain style and they come out and it's fucked. And I'm just like, damn.
Dang, I don't know how that happens.
That's so sad. Like, I don't know. I mean, honestly, how? How do they get put through that kind of trauma? I don't know. I really don't know.
And you can't say anything in the chair because you don't really know until they're done styling it.
Your hair's wet too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
and when it dries, it goes up.
Yes.
It dries up. I used to, whenever I got traumatized really hard by someone who chopped all my fucking hair off when all I asked was a couple layers. They got too layery.
They got a little too layery on it.
So my hair's like up to here and it was down to my butt. So I left bawling, like crying the whole way home. I was so fucking pissed because it took me like 2 years to grow it out.
Yeah.
So I'm pissed. So from then on, I never went to that person again. This, by the way, was like 20 years ago when I lived in Alabama. I was in high school, just to give some context. Yeah. So I'd never gone to that hairdresser again, but I found a new hairdresser and I made her cut my hair dry. Sure did.
I feel like I would do that too.
Yeah, I was like, we're not. I've been through too much. I was like, we're gonna cut my hair dry.
My barber cuts mine.
And I found this girl named Callie, and she would cut my hair dry for me because she knew how fucked up and traumatized I was from people chopping my hair. So she would do it for me. Yeah, she was really sweet.
Is it harder to cut when it's dry?
I don't know.
You know what? There's probably no traction on the scissors because like it'll probably want to move like instead of it like wet. Yeah,
you don't get that straight track. She always did an amazing job though trimming up my hair. So she would actually bone dry. Dries his hair. I was like, it's not happening to me again. I let them cut my hair. I'm like, the older I get, you learn things.
Absolutely.
You live and learn. So like I know now, like you ask for 2 inches, you're getting 4. So I know what I'm getting. So I don't get as upset.
Yeah, you're aware.
I'm very aware. I'm very aware. Now, if I was in a situation where I couldn't lose 4 inches, I wouldn't go get my hair cut.
Just keep growing it.
Yeah, I would keep growing it to the point where I could lose 4 inches, and that's exactly what I did.
You're like, let it cut. Let it go.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
And now it looks great.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like my method I've kind of worked out with the hair salon.
Yeah, you're a method actress.
I'm a method actress.
You're a method actress. I love that about you.
Some can do it, some can't.
Some just can't.
What's your peak this week?
Okay, I'm gonna say my peak was when I was on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
I'm not in Dancing with the Stars, of course. That sounded different. I was a guest of Harry Jowsey's for Dancing with the Stars. I went last week, and it was honestly a lot of fun. It is very hard to sit through for 4 hours, I will say.
We both did a sit through. It is very hard. Like, I didn't realize like what it was going in. Like, I went in, I had brought a little backpack with me because I just wanted to have like something. I brought 1 water bottle and a Cliff Bar just to like have, because I was like, oh, just in case like there's like not that many things to like eat or drink, I'll just have something. There was nothing. There was no water. There was no food. There was no nothing. So you literally have to like, oh my God, like I'm so happy. Hey, I brought that water bottle and that Cliff Bar because I ate through it and drank through it so quickly. I was dying by the end of it because I'm a water like freak, so I was having anxiety, but the actual experience was really fun. And seeing like how Dancing with the Stars is behind the scenes is crazy because like they really are doing that shit live. They do the first little performance with like the actual like professionals, the pros. They do their performance, they do it twice, and they record that part and they play that in the beginning, and then they actually like all the actual like contestants
like all their stuff is live while it's going like at the exact same time.
So it's real.
So it's very intense. And like there was a moment with one of the contestants messed up and he like missed like several of the steps and it was like bad and he couldn't recover and they gave him horrible scores. But I was like, damn, they really don't like, they really are like, this is what it's going to be. It's real life TV. It's not like phony. Like, you know, some oh, it's live, but it's like
on set.
It's like
it's
20 minutes early, whatever.
Yeah.
But it really was like, it was fucking wild. And it was just kind of cool. And it was like, I was on the TV several times. So that was kind of fun.
That's
like I was
really
in
awesome.
the audience. So like now I'm going to be on that episode of Dancing Stars forever.
You're an icon. You're a legend. And I want show credits. Manny,
the way I'm just
like
in
at
the
the end
audience.
of the show, it goes up. Manny,
Anyway, in the audience.
Audience member.
In Harry's friends section.
I
so it really was. It was really,
That's
really cool. And I thought of it too. I was like, would I ever do Dancing with the Stars? I would never do Dancing with the Stars.
Really?
Because actually, when I showed that I was there, I was actually surprised with how many DMs I got. That I was like, why aren't you on it? Like, why don't you go on it? Why don't you try going on it? I was like, because I can't. I can't dance.
You know what? I will actually not argue with you on this one because you've said to me so many times you don't like to dance really. You definitely don't like people like watching you dance. Because do you remember whenever we had to do like lose a challenge, you had to pretend to dance on a stripper pole and you were like, I'm not doing that. I'd rather. You also don't like to sing.
Don't like to sing live.
Like live.
Like for real. I was like, I don't want that kind of like attention on me in that way. I don't want to sing. I don't want to dance. I don't want people to look at me while I'm doing those things. So to me, Dancing with the Stars is the epitome of my like biggest fear of like dancing in front of people and like potentially embarrassing the fuck out of myself.
Wow.
Because I don't have like, I know I have like rhythm and like I can get by on like in some capacity, but I can't like actually dance.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't think that it's in me. Dancing with the Stars.
I totally.
It's cool as fuck though. Like I'm glad that everyone that's done it.
Get that.
But if they ask and they're like, man, you should dance with the Stars, I'd be like, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. No way.
But it was a fun experience to actually go.
That's really cool. I'm glad you got to do that.
And I'm proud of Harry for being on it.
Baby Harry and them long legs, honey. He's grasshoppering it the whole way. Harry, no shade, all tea.
Harry is definitely working really hard. He's a hard worker.
I want him to listen. This is the thing. I want to see him stay on the show, so I need him to pick it up, so he doesn't get voted off.
No, and the thing is, like, I know, like, from the first one he did his first dance, he got like all fours.
Okay.
Which is literally like the worst you could even get. It's like all fours.
Okay.
So he did terrible. Second one he got 555.
So we're getting there.
Which is like a progression.
We're getting there.
I'm very proud that he's progressing upwards in this Dancing with the Stars journey.
Yeah.
But it is definitely a journey because his what's it called? His hips are frozen.
His hips are frozen.
Frozen solid.
He's got to learn how to move them.
They need
hips,
to de-thaw,
honey. He's got to de-thaw the hips. Did you see Mauricio and his professional dancer girl are rumored to be?
You're lying.
In cahoots.
He's the one that messed up. I was talking about. I just want to say his name. He's the one that fucked up Mauricio.
He fucked up last week. Yeah.
Dude, wait, they're rumored to be in cahoots?
Rumored they're in cahoots because I think, according to what the press says, they're separated.
Kyle and Kyle are not together?
Separated.
If I saw Kyle there, I would have freaked the fuck out.
I know,
because I know I don't watch Beverly Hills, but I know of Kyle and I do live for her because of all the clips.
Live for her.
Like I'm obsessed. But it was fun seeing all stars. I saw Jamie Lynn Spears there. That spooked me. Boots. That gagged
She got sent home.
That episode. And I was like,
ooh. Mauricio missed half of his shit and Jamie Lynn Spears still went home. And you know what that is? That's the voting.
Oh, that's like the actual people. It's the people.
I was asking Manny because I guess I never was really deeply into the show. Now I'll probably watch it a little more.
Oh, because like the Vanderpump Girls on it too. I know you like her too.
I'm obsessed with her.
She did so good.
Okay, can we talk about how good?
No, gag.
Okay, if you watch Ariana on the show, that's not her.
She doesn't dance. She's not a dancer.
She doesn't. She's not loud. She's not like
rambunctious.
She's not rambunctious. She doesn't even give you a lot of energy. So what she's doing on that dance floor, I think that's why. Well, I think she could probably win it. To be honest with you.
Yeah. No, she's very
It's
talented.
not her personality what she's doing on that dance floor. So it's shocking because it's like, dang, this like professional, crazy, wild, energetic dancer is coming out of this girl who doesn't act like that at all. So,
and that's only episode 2. So because Laura and I watched episode 2 together. So I was like, oh, Laura, this is the one I went to. Like, let's watch it. So, and she was impressed. Miss Laura was impressed.
Oh, I was screaming. I'm a really big fan of hers. Yeah. So I was honestly just so happy to see her doing well on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, she's
beyond
like
well.
One of the tops.
Beyond well. She's like killing it. And I just honestly, not that I like don't think she couldn't do something like that, but I didn't expect it.
Yeah, of course. I feel like no one expects things like that until you like actually do it.
True.
And you go on it and you're like, oh shit, like they're talented as fuck.
Like so talented.
Yes,
like honestly, out dancing like some of the people you think would be like pros.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was a fun experience. What about your pit?
My pit this week. Okay, so I was cleaning out the garage this weekend because that's what I like to do in my free time. Clean out garages.
She's sick.
I am. I'm being
Don't
serious.
even start with me.
I love doing it.
But I'm glad like that, like, because I feel like you don't clean out your garage like often at all.
No.
Like that's not something
never
you do. So that's good. It's like spring cleaning, but fall.
We have one of our cat litter boxes in there. And we keep the garage door open, which is nice because it's like a garage is a great place. So what the cats like to do, even though I have the little mats that like grab the litter,
yes,
they sling that shit everywhere.
Of
the cats
course.
are like, as soon as they get out,
they're like,
yeah,
with their legs.
The litter goes everywhere. So anyways, I was like cleaning all that, vacuum it, and we bought these because we have a little gym in our garage, and we bought these really nice mats. So like black rubber mats. So it's like a gym floor in there, which is nice because whenever you're working out, you can just work out on the floor in there.
Absolutely.
So we bought them. We had them. Tyler installed them for us, and it's lovely. And I was vacuuming them, and as I was walking across the mats, I lost a big hunk on my big toe because embedded in one of the mats was like a little piece of metal. And it was shooting straight out of the mat. And it was like just, I guess, a manufacturer defect where it was like molted into the mat. And over time, us working out on it, it's kind of worn through. So I'm like walking around in there barefoot. I'm always barefoot though. Alabama. And my big toe hooked this piece of metal. I went and sliced my toe.
Did you scream?
Oh, I was home alone. I was like... But I didn't know what got me because I was just like, what the heck? I look down, I don't see anything, and my toe's bleeding everywhere. So I start rubbing the floor, and I find this little poke, and I was like, what the heck? And I look, and it's like a little chart of metal shooting out of the mat. So I put duct tape over it until Ty could like rip it out or figure it out.
That is crazy.
What a crazy thing. I was
also,
like,
I wouldn't expect that in like a rubber mat.
And also like workout mats. I'm really happy that didn't get me like in the head or like on my back.
So right. It could have been so much worse.
We work out on those mats, like rolling around, doing push-ups and stuff. So yeah, it could have been so much worse.
Thank God I got your toe, honestly.
Honestly, yes.
Terrible, but like thank God I got your toe.
I'd rather it get my toe than my fucking cheek or my neck or, like my arm or something, like honey. So that's my pit. Interesting though. Interesting.
So then do you have like a gash on your toe right now?
I sure do. And you know what? I was like, dang, I should have had shoes on. But then I literally immediately thought to myself, I was like, this was going to happen to someone eventually. Like one of my cats. Not my baby. But it wouldn't have gotten them like that because they're like this.
They're too light-footed. Like they would have never. And like their weight isn't as much as a human. So
and the way we just drag our feet because it got my foot like as I stepped, so it like hooked my foot. So yeah, I wouldn't have gotten them like that. But anyways, I was like, honestly, I'm glad like it got me so on my toe so we can like. I know
what a fucking martyr, dude.
I am such a martyr.
You're such a martyr. You did it for the family. You did it on purpose just for the family.
Did.
I love that.
Okay, what about your pit?
My pit was me going all the way to New York.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
You guys, okay, let's have this conversation. You guys, so I went to New York last week. Hold on.
Remember whenever I went to New York and I came home kicking and screaming?
Yes, that was me. So I went to New York last week or 2 weeks ago. I went with my mom, so it was like a fun experience. Like I was so excited to bring her. We were going out to Sephora because I was doing like kind of like a little meet and greet with Laneige. I'm working with Laneige like all year. I'm one of their brand ambassadors. Obsessed. Like I'm literally obsessed with them. So we were like, okay, cool. We're doing a quick little like moment in Sephora, right? Like a quick one too. I'm like, great. I'll be out there. They flew me and my mom out there. We're super excited to go. Tell me why. So we're like getting there. We're getting there. It's starting to kind of sprinkle, starting to kind of rain by like Thursday or like whatever. Friday comes. Torrential downpour. That's the day I have the meet and greet. Torrential downpour. It starts to flood New York.
Like
There's flooding is actually starting to happen in New York. We get like an alert on the phone, like those like Amber alerts. I was like, wee. It was like flooding happening. Do not leave house till like past a certain time, like 11 o'clock. And I was like, what the fuck? I get a text like, hey, the meet and greet is getting postponed because like some flooding happened in Sephora. We have to like push it out because no one's even allowed inside the thing. And I was like, holy shit. Okay, like sounds good. Gets pushed out to like from like 4 to 6, the meet and greet. So it's like 3:30. I get glam. I'm ready to go. They're like, hey, the whole Sephora is canceled today. And I said, No. And it's because of the fucking flooding with how bad it got in New York. They got like enough rain in one day to last them a month.
Oh.
And that's how crazy it was. Like people, like, I'm not kidding you. Like the flooding in New York was insane. They said they have like not seen anything like that in a long time.
So you're telling me that you basically went there for no reason.
Correct. And then of course I left Saturday morning, like my original plan was afternoon. No. So I went to New York. I made the best of it. Like, and I was telling Laura, I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'm gonna make the best of it. Like, you know, like I'm here.
You guys spend time with
my
your mom.
We went to go see the Harry Potter show, which is amazing. And
how was that? Yeah.
It was fucking fire.
I bet.
Very long. Longer than I was expecting.
How long?
3 hours. 3.5. Oh! Did not know. And also it's not a musical, which I thought it was. It's actually a play. It's like a real play.
Oh no!
It's a real play, but
cool,
it was.
You said it was really
amazing.
Cool.
Like it was actually, and like the way they do it, like it's such a well done show. It's
Question:
shocking.
Is it like one of the movies where they take in parts, or is it like a new storyline?
Whole new storyline.
Wow!
But it takes place in the fourth movie, which is my favorite movie.
Oh, that's so cool.
The Goblet of Fire kind of takes place in that time.
That's really cool.
So it actually was really cool, and like the effects of the stages are insane. Like they will like do the one thing, and then fire comes out of it. Or like they'll do
New York Broadway is like
no, like it's just what you would think. It's just like that. Like so, it's crazy. So the actual show was incredible. So we made the best of it, but I was just like, I can't believe I came all the way out here. And it like also sucks like for the night shoot because they brought me out there to do these things, and it's like fuck, like it was just like an overall like a lose.
I know a lot of brands and people flew out to New York that weekend for Sephora.
Dude, and the thing is, like this is the gag. Sephora was sold out Friday and Saturday, so the people that didn't get to go on Friday couldn't even go on Saturday. Even though it was open on Saturday, it was able to be reopened because it was already sold out. So they couldn't even have them at capacity because it was already over capacity.
Wow.
They couldn't even have them in. So they were just like, well, what are we gonna like? I don't even know what transpired. I have no idea.
That is so crazy.
That's like it's just like a literal freak New York accident. Like no
New York,
idea.
but let me tell you, is it a freak New York accident? Because this is New York.
I mean, New York is always
some shit, no matter what. It's some shit, and this is what we talked about a few weeks back. And I was telling Manny, I thought all the New Yorkers were definitely going to rip me apart for being like,
and they all agreed,
and they were all like, yeah,
New York can be an absolute mess.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but the thing is that I think what was the freak accident part about it was the fact that they actually flooded when they don't like actually have flooding.
I feel like there's always some crazy shit going on in New York though. Some disaster or event or something crazy. Like New York is the place, and I'm learning that. Like, never expect a normal New York trip ever because it ain't happening. Some shit's going down in that city every single day.
It's because the city's like too popping and too like wild
it's too
to not have that to happen.
And too on top of each other.
It's like overbuilt. It's like
overbuilt. It's overpopulated, and so anything that happens kind of affects everybody there.
Totally.
And that's what the fucking problem is.
Wild. No, it was fucking wild. And like I was sad because I saw like all these comments that were like, I flew out here from this place and this place, and I got like, are you all gonna recompensate also? And like I'm assuming that they aren't. Like, how could they?
Wait, what? They're no.
For like the flights
for the
and the
tickets,
hotels.
though.
The tickets, I'm sure they'll reimburse.
Well, flights and hotel, it's like that's weather, yeah. But like tickets, they should reimburse.
Definitely. So yeah, that was. I just couldn't believe that I went out to New York and it got canceled when I was there. I was literally in shock.
Wow.
In fucking shock, dude.
Thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage. Have you guys ever been on the hunt for a new doctor and you ask literally everyone for a recommendation? It's so hard to find.
They really are.
Well, guess what? It's so actually easy now with the ZocDoc app.
ZocDoc is a free app where you can find amazing doctors and book appointments online.
It's an easy place to find and book great doctors that are in your insurance range. And a lot of them have amazing reviews from real patients and appointments available within 24 hours.
And we're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance and are located near you and treat almost any condition you can literally be possibly searching for, and it's free. You guys, we love that it's absolutely free up in here. Both of us have actually used ZocDoc before, and it honestly is an absolute win. We are absolutely obsessed. Once you find the doc you want, you can book them immediately with just a few app taps. No more waiting awkwardly on hold with receptionists.
Go to ZocDoc.com/fool and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/fool. ZocDoc.com/fool.
Support for today's episode comes from One Skin. Did you have a little too much fun in the sun this summer? It's no secret that UV rays can take a toll on your skin, leaving it dry, tired, and less vibrant. If you want to hit the undo button on UV-induced aging, say hello to One Skin, your secret weapon against the summer's toll on your skin.
You know what I like about One Skin is that they actually help treat the root cause of aging. And so it's really good skincare. So it's actually designed to provide temporary reduction of visible signs of aging, addressing the surface symptoms of underlying decline in the skin's health. So it's really good stuff.
One Skin is the world's first skin longevity company. One Skin addresses skin health at the molecular level, targeting the root causing of ages so skin behaves, feels, and appears younger. It's time to get started with your new face, eye, and body routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with code FOOL at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code FOOL. We only have one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with One Skin.
This reminds me, I'll be really quick with this. We were at the airport waiting to get on a flight and a woman was on the phone. She had such a positive attitude, but she was on the phone and she was taking her son on a cruise for his 21st birthday, and the airport held them up with their luggage, so they got delayed. They missed their flight to the cruise port, so the cruise took off without them, so they missed the whole cruise. But because it was like their fault, that I mean, it's not their fault, but it's like not the cruise's responsibility to get you there, she paid like her only $7,000 and the cruise wasn't giving it back. So not only did she take a week off work, that her job too, I'm hearing all this on the phone and she's so positive about it.
You're kidding.
She took a week off work, so she was like, my job's not gonna let me come in now because they scheduled people to come in and cover me. So now my week vacation I have to spend at home and I can't go into work and just use the vacation another time. The cruise line's not giving me my money back, and I saved that money, you know, for a long time for me and my son to get to go do this. So we're out the money, we're out the cruise, I'm out my vacation. And I didn't intervene because like mind my business, but I was literally like this. Like that just sitting there, and she wasn't even like freaking out. She was just like, it is what it is, and you know, I'm gonna make the best of it. And I was like, damn.
I love it. It is what it is, people, though.
I know. I was shocked.
It is what it is, kind of girly.
That was the most shocking thing I've ever heard. I
mean, maybe,
I was even doing the math in my head. I was like,
that wouldn't happen to Laura.
You sure about that?
I'm saying that wouldn't happen to you. Like you would not let.
Oh no.
Like no, that's simply not gonna work for me.
No, I would be like.
Oh, you're not getting my money back? That the trip I'm not going on?
No, because like that's the airline, but I get how the cruise is like. How are we supposed to be giving everybody back their money that don't show up?
Exactly.
And then because that was a sold ticket.
And they probably say like non-refundable on the thing.
There's some strict stuff. Gosh, what an unfortunate situation. I thought though.
That's horrific.
Like literally horrific. I was like, damn, that's so sad. So that reminded me whenever you told me
what a journey that we went on.
We went on a journey, but now it's time to jump into our rapid fire.
Rapid fire. You know these. What the fuck? What the fuck is literally wrong with us? Why did we both like hit an octave of rapid fire?
Swearing. America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
You better listen
so you
up.
think you can sing. So you can sing.
Oh my God.
So we have a couple topics here, you guys, that are going on, things that are happening in the wavelengths. Today, actually, on my way here, the Jason Momoa Amber Heard DC situation just popped out. So Amber Heard.
Yeah, that did just pop out.
Today, like literally today. Amber Heard has said that Jason Momoa came to set during filming Aquaman movie number 2 in Johnny Depp
Pirates of the Caribbean outfit.
Gig.
Like dressed up like a pirate. Was it? Correct me. There was quote unquote, allegedly, he was drunk.
And making fun of her and like poking fun at her because of
Johnny Depp and like the case and all that was going on. And so me and Manny were like trying to figure out, we're like, did Amber Heard say that this happened? Like who's saying that this happened?
Who is saying this? So what we saw was like that it said like on like what we've looked up and like what we saw like on Entertainment and E and things like that and TMZ, it was saying that Amber Heard said it. That she was one saying that like this is what Jason did on set.
Right.
And so it's like, but so then we were like, okay, like that's fucking wild if that really happened.
It's just crazy.
Insane.
Like after all she's been through, it's like she's gonna go to war with Jason now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So we were like kind of surprised. That's why we were like, do we think there's no way she came out with this?
Like she's already going through the gates.
But it kind of looks like that. It looks like she said it. So allegedly she
said it. And DC has like came out publicly and been like
against her
and was like, this never happened. He was a constant professional on set. He was never drunk on set and always made sure everyone was like having a good time. So it's like
literally DC is denying this.
Denying
and
that
that's kind of a big thing for DC to publicly come out and be
DC, like,
because they're such a big conglomerate. I'm like, that's pretty bold for you guys to come out and be like, absolutely not, this did not happen. So now because DC has spoken up, it's kind of created a little shitstorm for Amber Heard again, to be honest.
Again, the thing is, like, Amber, I just feel like she really can't catch a break either, in a way. Like if she says anything, it's suddenly like she's just going to be shunned regardless. So it is kind of like tough, because I know that she like literally moved out of Hollywood, like went to moved to Spain or something like that. Like she moved out of here to like go live her life happily. So the fact that this is even coming out, I'm like, why would she even bring it back up, or why would it even get brought into the attention when like she kind of like let the situation just like let it lie. Like the trial happened, everything transpired, you know, and like kind of like that passed. So for it to come up again, I'm like, oh damn, like here we are, like all over, and it just sucks because I feel like, and I feel for her in that way, like she could say anything and people still wouldn't like listen to her. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Or like heed what she has to say.
If I were her, I would assume that would be, I guess maybe she wasn't ready for DC to also make a statement. Probably. So it is a lot of back and forth, to be honest. But it's like, I don't know what to believe, because like, I feel like for DC to make a statement like that, like they're not going to put themselves in harm's way.
Like DC's
like
never going to
legality way.
Star Jason Momoa under the bus.
That's true, but she's Amber technically their star too.
No, because after like the second movie, they're not hiring her again.
Okay,
she's done. So imagine like we're gonna throw Jason, we're gonna throw Amber under the bus. Amber, who has like what 3 minutes in the movie. Yeah. Jason, who's gonna continuously be Aquaman in their movies.
So you're thinking they're saying that to save him, or do you think he really didn't do anything?
I don't know what the fuck happened. Obviously, like we weren't there. We don't know actually, and like this is what it's like more of a he said, she said situation, but
there's
it's like
so many people on those sets. It's like if that did happen,
I was like, how is it like? Would there be no videos of it? Nothing recorded?
Yeah, like sets have more like people hundreds of people on them. Yes. So it's like if he literally came on set dressed like Johnny Depp, drunk, running through set, poking at her for dealing with him in his case. If that did happen, that's a little crazy. We also don't know context to it, because what if it didn't come across right, but what if he did mean it in all like serious funny, way. Like a joke, not even for Johnny Depp, just like being stupid like around. He is. You know what I mean? Like fucking around. Jokey. And it wasn't a good idea and it wasn't the right time to do it. Totally. I'm not trying to take his side, because if he did do it, I don't think that's right.
I agree. I don't think it's right.
But like, what if it wasn't like in a malicious way?
Totally. Like he could have been joking around, but I think it's like when it's also showed that he was trying to get her off the movie.
I didn't know that.
Because that's also what's part of like the story coming out and trying to get her out.
I heard that he was supporting her when the shit was coming out.
He was supporting her.
He was supporting her.
But right now, the story that just broke today was saying that he was trying to get her off the movie.
Oh my God.
That he was like saying that for her to not be part of the second movie. So it's like, it's very, again, very he said, she said situation, very confusing. It's just like, you know, I feel like with Amber, like I was saying, like she just can't say anything without people being like, "Are you sure? Did that really happen?" Like kind of like, especially because like with the trial, how big it got, like how like the clips, how they like totally wrecked her too. I really just don't think that she can like do anything right, quote unquote, to the public's eye.
Well, you know? The thing is, if I were in her shoes, I would also be like, now, like if I come out against my co-star, it's probably not going to be received very well from
horrifically. It's been received horrifically.
I would assume it would be. If I were her, I would assume that would be the outcome.
That's what I would assume as well,
because of what I just went through.
Yeah, what just transpired from what just happened to me during the trial. I can't imagine she would think that it would be like a good idea to talk about this. Yeah, where someone like who is as loved as Jason Momoa is, he's very loved. People love him. I love him. I'm a huge fan. So for her to say that, it's kind of like, oh, and she just got crucified. Yeah. In the fucking trial. And now this happening, it's like, it's very peculiar timing too.
It is. It is very interesting.
Very interesting to see.
But DC is saying
intrigued.
it didn't happen. So
I wonder if like Jason's team will come out and say like it's never happened. If Jason himself will say it never happened.
Yeah.
Like I wonder what like the teams
lot. That's
on
a
set,
lot to make up.
That's huge to make up.
To say like he was drunk, to say he dressed up, like
that's Johnny Depp.
Something happened there, like, or was he just acting like a pirate and then like this all got twisted? Like what exactly happened there? Because it's a lot to make up. I'm not trying to take Amber Heard's side or anything. I'm not trying to take Jason's side. I don't know what happened. I do know DC spoke up and said it didn't happen, and I do know like if that was a flat out lie, that's a prickly thing for them because they could also just stay quiet.
Totally. And the thing is, I was also thinking too, like. Because like let's say like them filming the second one, dressing up, whatever, she could have been really sensitive about the topic too. So like she could have potentially taken it and be like, oh, like he's like fucking shading me, he's being an asshole to me. It could have been not that. Yeah, he doesn't want me in the movie, because like it's easy to, especially when you're going through the gigs, it's easy to feel like everyone's against you.
100%.
So you're like, oh my god, they're fucking shading me too. Like it's so easy to feel like that. So I wonder if that could have been a situation too where she like maybe read into it in a different way.
Right.
You never really know.
You don't unless you were there.
Unless you were there. So I'm very, very intrigued to see if like people that were on set come out and be like, yes, he did. Or if everyone's like, no, he didn't.
Because that's the real tea.
Yeah.
It's the people on set.
But they're all on NDAs.
Yeah, that's true.
So would they even say anything?
She should be under NDA too, technically,
I would be
right?
I'm honestly shocked that she even said anything.
Right. That's
why
what
I'm
I was
like,
thinking.
she's not in a DC NDA that she has somewhere.
That's what I was thinking.
But then she's also like, fuck it, don't care because I'm not going to be in DC movies either.
Like, it's over for me.
It's over for me. I'm not going to be in Hollywood anymore.
So she's like, I don't know.
Or then I'll be like, don't sue me for all the money that I have.
That's what I would be like.
If I'm not doing Hollywood anymore, I still need the coin.
God. Crazy.
So we're gonna follow up on the story because we don't know exactly what's gonna go down. But this just broke literally hours ago, so I'm very intrigued.
Okay, well, our next topic is the Kardashians.
The battle that never stops.
It's been going on after season after season. Kourtney against the world.
Yes, but Kourtney against Kim.
Kourtney against Kim in this situation, but I feel like throughout the years it's been Kourtney against the world because she's been against Khloe.
Yeah.
She's been against all of them. But it's crazy how much they air.
I'm shocked when they did the call.
The physical fight.
The physical fight.
They aired that, and then the call. It gets so dark.
Well, I was even gagged because when I was watching the beginning of the call happen, remember I sent you? I was like, "Yo, this is the beginning portion of the call from the episode," and then like obviously the one that went viral was the one that like they just started going in on each other. Yeah. But the whole like 2 minutes before.
I watched the whole episode because I needed to know all the context, and honestly, there's no context. She just calls Kourtney
for no reason.
She's like, guys, I'm gonna go call. Like she goes to sit down. They're all having dinner. She goes to sit down separately and just does the call with Kourtney. And then the interview portion, she just explains like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you what really happened." She's seeing edits right now from last season.
Oh right.
So
right.
it's re-firing her up. So she's really pissed about last season's edits because we are now watching them in real time while filming the second season. So things are just like not caught up. So Kim was trying to explain what's going on.
Is Kourtney a producer on it?
Yes.
Got it. So Kourtney
and her sit down beside each other when some of this is going on in the interview and like kind of agree on that.
Yeah, but I would like literally die if I'm like sitting
Their sisters
with someone.
Is so different.
Okay.
It's so different. It's all this whole situation gets to air and everything because they're sisters.
Got it.
It's such a different relationship than a regular fight with someone.
But it feels so much more intense and so much more intimate and so much more
sisters.
Like crazy.
That's sisters.
Like it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But like I don't feel like that relationship is a normal sisterly relationship.
I think sisterly relationships can be extremely tumultuous.
I agree, but I don't think like to that level to allow that to be shown to the world.
Yeah, well, see, that's what Kourtney's big problem is. She's like, I have like things people can put behind them and move on from. I have to relive as a producer.
Totally.
For the show, she has to relive it. So she does say that. She's like, she's living in an abnormal world, and it makes it hard because like people don't like normally
and you want to forget. They can't forget as much
and move on, and people don't see all the shit. Maybe someone says behind your back, and I don't think we're always meant to, where she does because it's shown on camera. So she's basically saying like, well, this these are my real feelings in an abnormal world that I'm living in.
It's not normal. what they had to do.
So I get it.
But that call.
So basically, they
Tell them
do
what
a
happened.
FaceTime call on the new season of the Kardashians. Kim's sitting on the couch. One of them calls each other and she's talking to Kourtney, and they just start going at it. And the conversation goes from, you're upset, you seem so unhappy about life, Kim telling Kourtney this, to Kourtney getting upset, saying some mean things. And it seemed like Kim.
I feel like Kourtney went in first.
Kourtney did go in first.
I feel like Kourtney like started the little battle for sure.
And Kim finished.
And Kim fucking went in on her and finished the battle.
She went in. Kim was like saying to Kourtney, you seem so miserable. You know, all your friends in a group chat that you're not in.
The Not Kourtney group chat.
They said they named it the Not Kourtney group chat to make sure to text that one so they wouldn't be texting Kourtney and accidentally get her in it, basically. You know, complain about Kourtney to Kim, all of Kourtney's friends, and that even her kids, Kourtney's kids, have come to Kim
complaining about
Kourtney.
I feel like that's hitting like a little low though.
Do you believe that it's true? This is opinion because no one knows if it's true or not.
I think that it could have totally happened where her kids be like, oh, my mom's just being like annoying right now. Or like it's easy for a kid to feel kind of like venty about something, but I think that Kim could have used it in a like more weaponizing kind of way.
She used it in a weaponizing way. I think that there's probably a group chat. There's a lot of speculation that there's not a group chat. I think there is because she like said it has a name and everything.
She
and
said that it's with the family though.
Yeah, but see Kim on the show, she said it's your friends. And so, you know, that's the speculation. There's probably a friend or two in it.
I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Because they have so many people in their little circle. And the way she said the name of the group chat, I was like, oh, there's a chat. There's a chat going
There's definitely a chat. I believe that there is. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like when I'm watching, like, I feel like it really does feel like Kourtney versus Kim, but also like Kourtney versus everyone. Yeah. Like you were saying, it does feel like Kourtney like versus the world. And she's like, you're a fucking witch. And she's like saying all these crazy things, saying you're a narcissist to Kim, all this stuff. And it's like, this is what I don't get. Hear me out. Kourtney reaps so many benefits from being a Kardashian, right? And then she's like, I just want to live my like little life with my kids and my man and just like kind of live happily ever after. I never have to be famous. I never want it. But it's like, you've already reaped the rewards. That's why you're allowed to say those things.
Yeah, you're allowed to be like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I'm like, you get to do that because of all that Kim's done.
Oh, totally. And the thing is, like, let's be honest. Kim and Chris are the ones that created what you guys have.
Yeah, what you have. The reason you live in that big house. I get she worked too, but none of it would exist without Kim and Chris.
It wouldn't, and it really wouldn't have. So it's like, for her to be like, oh, well, like, my family's just like, so, they're all about fame and money hungry and da-da-da.
I'm like, that's why you're on a TV show called The Kardashians that you sign up to be on every year.
So it's like, for me, it just seems so like hypocritical almost, or just kind of like, oh, woe is me. Cause it's like, dude, you trying to be like, at least Kim owns the fact that she wants to be fucking famous. She wants to be, you know, a powerful woman. She wants to be rich. She wants all these things that like, well, she owns it. She says she wants to do those things. But for Kourtney to be like, oh, I just don't want it. But she already has it.
Yeah.
You're saying that you don't want it because you already have it.
Because you have it. If you didn't have it, you'd be crying for it.
Yes. So it's like, I just like, to me, it's so like, oh girl, you're trying it.
This is one of my conspiracies on it. I think that family is an extremely competitive family. And they're not only competitive with other celebrities, they're mostly competitive with themselves.
Yep.
Some people who compete, I feel like, are okay with other people winning. It doesn't make them happy and they don't always agree with it, but they can live with it. I don't think Kourtney is the type of people that can lose in competition. And Kim is a winner. I think Kim would do anything to win. She's admitted it herself. She's very competitive.
Yep.
And Kim always wins. And Kourtney's the type of person who can't live with that. Like Khloe, I'm sure, and I'm sure I see a competitiveness with Kylie and Kim. I see it. For sure.
And I'm sure Kylie and Kendall, you know they're competitive as fuck.
Do you see what I'm saying?
You can tell.
100%.
And their sisters, like, come on.
But I feel like they are the type of people who are able to push ego aside a little bit and just kind of live with it. And I'm sure there's been arguments, but you know what? They don't like constantly hate that person. Whereas I feel like Kourtney is the type of person who doesn't live well with losing. With losing. And she's constantly losing to Kim because Kim is the winner. And I think that, and you know, a lot of people speculated, they were like, oh, it's because Travis was in love with Kim. He said it in his book. That's why she's so mad. You know what? I think that's probably one of the 1,000 reasons.
That's probably one of the many.
Because again, do you see how that's another competitive thing with your man? And he's already written about your freaking sister who always wins. So that's probably another layer to it.
It's honestly like, how could Kourtney not hate Kim?
Yeah. And so it's like, and then you get this Dolce and Gabbana thing for your wedding. And then there's Kim. She wins again. She one-ups you. So you feel, because you're trying to compete too, you're always losing the fucking competition.
That's why she wants to bow out. And she wants like, I don't want to be part of it anymore.
Exactly.
You don't want to be part of it because you keep losing.
So I think like everybody's like pinning it on this one thing. I think it's all the things.
So many things combined.
I think it's all the different competitions.
And years
and Kim winning
turmoil.
Every single fucking time. You know what I mean? And I think
that, but I do think the Travis thing that's a big.
Do
thorn.
you? I mean, I'm sure.
I think now that it's come out about like the fact that he had the book and like,
it's weird.
You know, I mean, he had like what chapters?
Yeah.
Or a chapter about like Kim and talking about like how he, you know, had a huge crush on Kim, how they went on dates, essentially. They would hang out,
so
how
weird.
He was in love with Kim. And now suddenly he's with Kourtney.
That's so weird.
There's something so fucking weird about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I would be devastated if I was like Kourtney and I would see comments that were like, oh, just like the second rate Kim.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the third rate.
And see, some people would be like, hey, at least I'm here. At least I'm being compared to Kim.
Totally.
And so it's all about perspective. But for Kourtney, she doesn't want to be that. She wants, I think if Kourtney had it her way, she would want to be the main character of the show. Kourtney acts like she doesn't want to be on the show. I think Kourtney wants to be the main character of the show because Kim is always that person. Kourtney's a part of the show that feeds the beast that she's competing against. That always wins. So she don't want to be a part of it.
But the thing is, like, Kourtney has been on the show and she's been very successful on the show. Like, she's had great storylines.
She was never the main character.
Never the main character, but she has provided a lot for the show.
Everybody has.
Everyone has. That's how a show about a whole family fucking works.
Everybody has.
For her to be like, you know, I feel like that's her mindset too. Like, she feels very, very, very competitive with Kim.
Yep.
And she just can't stand the idea of losing to Kim. But it's like,
and she's constantly losing to Kim.
Right.
So, and every time Kourtney gets something, Kim's right behind her on her tail and does it. I don't want to say better, but I mean,
it does it as well.
Yeah. And then because Kim's like one of the most famous people in the world, whether you like her or hate her, she is, it gets more press and it does better and it's more. So it hurts. It would bother me, but not enough to like act like all that now.
Honestly, it was nice for Kim to even take them on the ride.
Literally, that's something to talk about.
How about that? Kim was nice enough to do even involve y'all in her celebness in her life.
Kylie Kendall would have crumbs right now if it wasn't for Kimberly. But see, they love Kim.
Of course.
So
like they love her, they appreciate her. It's like, you know, she is like the Kardashian show. Like, come on, like it's very. Kim made so much of that shit happen because she's the type of bitch that will wake up at literally like what, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Glam, boom, like get fucking life
Take
done.
the risk, be friends with the right people when everybody else is chilling. She's out here, you know, hustling to be a celebrity.
Totally.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Do you ever know what's good for you in life, but it seems like your brain is just getting in the way? It's always good to have someone to talk to, especially professional. And that is why BetterHelp is so good and is also very accessible. It's online therapy.
Love it, you guys. I think that it's absolutely amazing to be able to have something like BetterHelp. You know, I've benefited from therapy in my past. Like, I've gone to therapy multiple times in my life, and I truly found it to be so profound and really helped me, you know, digest things I just couldn't do myself. So I love the fact that BetterHelp is online therapy, which is basically made way easier.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you guys have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist. And a cool thing about it is you can actually switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/full coverage today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/full coverage. Thank you so much to Ritual for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage. You guys, the thing with our skin and just in general, there's a gradual loss of hyaluronic acid in the skin as we age. And over time, the skin becomes thinner, drier, and more prone to wrinkles, which is why we want to meet Miss Haya Sarah, a once daily supplement from Ritual designed to promote skin support from within with clinically proven ingredients to minimize wrinkles after 90 days.
We love to hear it. Do you know what's so cool about their Hyacera product? Is that in a clinical study done by an independent research lab, Ceratique proved to help reduce wrinkles and fine lines in just 90 days. Such a major change. I personally love it. It's easy to fit into my skincare routine. I think it's one of those things you have to be consistent with to see a difference. And that's really the important thing to do whenever you're doing this. But to enhance your skincare routine from the inside out with one daily capsule. And it also has this really yummy, soothing vanilla taste. I know sometimes vitamins and things like that can have an awful taste. This one tastes so good. It's also vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, no artificial colorants, third-party tested for heavy metals and microbes.
Love it. Reduce wrinkles without compromising on clean science. Hyacera from Ritual is a skin supplement you can actually trust. Ritual is offering our listeners 30% off during your first month. Visit ritual.com/fool to start Ritual or add Hyacera to your lineup today.
Which is also interesting. Caitlyn Jenner right now, I don't know if it's a TV show, a documentary, what it is, but she's like coming out with all these stories. It's such a betrayal in my opinion.
Oh, I can't imagine how they would feel. I cannot imagine how they would feel about Caitlyn.
Imagine like a family member, like a parent.
Betraying you like that?
A parent.
Can't.
Which Caitlyn betrayed her own children. I watched the reboot of The Hills, and Brody Jenner flat out says on it, Caitlyn completely, Bruce at the time, abandoned Brody and his brother when he became a part of that family. He had 2 sons that he was involved in their life and basically pretend like they didn't exist whenever that show started.
That's horrible.
And to this day, they don't have a relationship. So Caitlyn literally abandoned her 2 children, but has so much to say about Chris, and I don't know. The whole thing is, it's crazy. It reeks to me.
No, Caitlyn, fuck out of here with that shit.
Right?
Chris is the glue that's kept the family together. And she always like says in the show too, she's always like, I just want my kids to be happy. I just want my kids to be successful. I just want to be with them and like just have a great time. Yeah. Don't even like bring me that with the whole Caitlyn, like just want to be like, oh, I just want to be involved with my kids and Chris is the real monster. Fuck that. I don't believe it. I think Caitlyn's the monster. And Chris has been the one that's been trying to hold it down for fucking years and years and years.
And the fact that Caitlyn's willing to just like try to
throw her kids under the bus
her
too.
Own kids, like I don't know, like everyone on a bus, it like says a lot about Caitlyn.
I don't think that it would, if the roles were switched, I don't think ever Chris would throw her kids under the bus. Ever. I don't believe it. So
she
the fact
would
that
lie to the day
Caitlyn
she died.
And Caitlyn already has a fucking track record with her with the sons.
That's my thing. I'm like,
so
the proof is in the pudding with how you treated your own children.
So I mean, so imagine that's how you treated your, biological children. Now the steps kids of like the Kardashians, she's gonna treat them like absolute garbage. So no, honestly, it is actually pretty crazy. Like when I saw that call, I was like actually shocked.
It is shocking.
And I
did
just
feel bad when like Kourtney was crying at the end. I'm not gonna lie.
Horrible.
Like I could feel like the hurt in her voice after Kim said your kids have come to me. I believe it's
real. I believe it's all real.
That like really, I was like, damn, that's really dark. Like that.
It's dark.
I'm so sad for her because I don't want anyone to feel that way,
Oh, I felt horrible for her. Like the thing is, like I felt like at first I was like, oh, this makes a lot of sense. Like Kim's making very valid points, and then Kourtney hit it low. She hit low first, but she forgot that Kim can go to hell.
Kim can drag you all the way to hell if she needs to.
She will drag you down boots. She won't start it, but she will finish it a lot of time. I feel
like Kim is so checked out of that relationship too because she barely batted an eye when Kourtney's like, doing all the most. And Kim's literally like, okay.
But even the Kim's like kind of like when Kourtney's talking, she's kind of like, like, you can tell she's kind of like, this bitch is crazy. Yeah. Like this bitch is literally crazy. She's going through the gigs.
She's dealt with it for a long time, so she's kind of like she's already checked out of the relationship.
So, but I did feel bad because like I think at the end of the day, like if you bring in the kids, like that's a whole nother ball game. And
it's a low blow.
It's a low blow. That's a low to hell blow. You hit low, Kim's gonna hit low.
Kim will take it there.
So I think that's just sad because you like to see a sisterly relationship be like that is wild to me. To me, it's wild. I don't have a sister, but I have brothers, and I would never treat them like that. So it's like crazy to me.
I feel like you and your brothers have like a different like special relationship than most people do with their siblings.
We're also Mexican, so I think that's true too. Mexicans are notoriously very close with their family.
Well, I just feel like you guys don't really have falling out.
Yeah, no, we don't. Yeah, we're all very, very chill.
Yeah, chill is the word. Chill's a good word. Everybody is so chill.
There's like no issues.
Your family, exactly that. So chill. So
mind you, I don't work with them all the time.
Oh,
So I think that could also add a lot of turmoil.
That probably does too. You know what? That probably does. That probably
there was moments where when Nick was assisting with me a little bit, like he was like my assistant while my other assistant was like not working with me. He was assistant, and like it would be easy for me to kind of be like kind of bossy of him because I'm already the oldest. He's like technically working for me in this capacity, so I would have to constantly check myself. My mom would be like, "Yo, check your fucking attitude. That's your brother, and like you'd be like not." Like, don't be an asshole. And I was like, oh, you're so right. Because like, you almost forget because he is my brother. I can be a little bit more harsh.
Right.
A little more real. A little more intense. But it's true. Like, you can be a little bit more harsh and intense with your family. But you should treat them the best that you can.
Yeah.
Because it is your family.
Right.
You know?
Dang. All right. Well, our next topic is Gigi Hadid and Bradley Cooper.
I kind of live.
Ew, I know.
I'm not going to lie. I live.
Me too.
I absolutely live. The fantasy.
I like Gigi a lot. I didn't love her with Leo, but I kind of loved for her to have her moment and doing whatever the fuck she wants. I know, right? Like I wasn't into it. Bradley Cooper, that's cute.
That's a fine ass man.
It is.
Listen,
he's cute.
I live for Bradley.
Right.
Like I do. I really like him, and I like Gigi a lot too. I've met her before. She's so fucking cool, down to earth, just like a really cool chick. So I'm like, to me, like they seem like such a good couple.
They do.
They really. Our guest that we just had dated her.
Oh, I forgot about that. We have a guest next week. I forgot all about that.
We actually have a guest. I'm so excited.
Next week?
Yeah, we have a guest. That man.
Manny was over here.
The only reason I was sweating was because of the heat in this room. It wasn't because of him.
Honestly, I do get nervous interviewing people that I don't know.
I'm the same exact way.
So
I get nervous.
I feel like and Ty was even like, you guys were both nervous at the start.
More than he was.
Yeah, he was like,
I was like, you don't fucking know this person.
I was like, honestly, I get nervous whenever we have guests and I don't know them.
Same.
Because anything can happen and like it's our job to do the interviewing and it's our job to carry. So it puts a little bit on our shoulders as it should.
We guide, but we did guide.
Oh, we were fantastic, but I was just saying like.
You can just feel a little bit more nervous.
I was nervous in the beginning, but then I was like, okay, we're good.
I mean, like, it's like being, like, that makes sense though. Cause like, let's say when we have like Daniel or Gabriel, like, I'm not fucking nervous. I'm like, girl, just come on, let's shoot the shit. Like when it's our friends, it's easy. Like Desi, Katie, easy.
Right.
But like.
Because the way when we have a guest, they come in here for 5 minutes and we immediately sit down. So it's not like we do some pre-interviewing, pre-phone conversations, none of that. Like when we have a guest, we truly just throw them in here in the hot seat. And so we're in the hot seat too. So that's why I get nervous.
Yeah. And we're like, okay, so
I'm like, we have
questions for you. And you know, and I'm always like scared with the guests. I'm like, what is your guys' like off limit topics? Like that's why I always get me nervous. Because you know some of the girlies are like, I don't want to talk about this and this and this and this and this.
I can't wait for them to see the episode. Maybe you guys can see if we were nervous. Or maybe you won't.
I would love for them to be like, actually don't say it though.
If we already said we were, they're gonna be like, we can tell.
We can tell you guys are so fucking scared. Don't you dare.
Know how this
Don't
goes.
you dare. It's like when you tell the drunk story once every year.
Right.
You're an alcoholic. It's very that. And it's like.
So if you tell them that you were nervous, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I see it. I see it."
You guys are so fucking scared. I can see the beads of sweat.
That's what it turns into.
No, we were honestly, it was totally fine. But
no,
it is funny. Like it's a different energy when you know someone.
It is.
Interview and then you don't.
Yes.
You know.
Luckily,
and I never met him.
He was super laid back.
So chill.
And very easy to talk to, and it was a great episode.
Oh, I'm so glad. Like I was very, very excited to have him on.
Okay, we trailed.
Right. Gigi and Bradley.
Gigi and Brad love it.
We love it.
We ship it.
We are here for them being together.
Okay, our next and final topic.
Yeah.
Y'all, this is kind of crazy.
That's like we have some influencer stuff.
I mean, it's not really crazy because this stuff has already come out, but it's the Jeff and David Dobrik saga.
I think it's a saga that never ends.
And so he went on Trisha Paytas' podcast recently and opened up a little more with Tana. Are Tana and him dating? No.
No, I think they have a podcast together. Yeah, they're like the friends, stuff like that. And then actually Trisha went on his podcast with Tana as well. So it was like they did a pod swap essentially.
Got it.
So they talked about like, you know, the David situation, you know, Trisha and
what's the David?
Jeff,
tell them what the David's in case they don't know.
In case you do not know. So Jeff Wittek was a member of the Vlog Squad back in the day. When David was like doing like the vlogs all the time, he was doing these crazy stunts, things like that. They did a stunt with like an excavator and Jeff was on it. David was spinning the thing. Jeff got hit.
Jeff also didn't know he was gonna spin him like that.
And hard, yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
hard like he was. He thought it was gonna be like a little
very
funny
light,
moment, very light spin.
David spun the fuck out of him on the excavator, and he got hurt.
For content,
and he got fucking hurt like badly, and like hospitalized, had to get surgery, almost lost his eye. And so it was a crazy situation. And so that's kind of like the situation I'm talking about with Jeff and David in general. Like there was like Jeff made some episodes about it, almost like on like a docu-series about it, things like that. So recently they went on the podcast with Trisha and Trisha was in the vlog squad too, because she was dating Jason. So they kind of, you know, I feel like bonded over their vlog squad
like trauma with the people in the vlog squad that they had both gone through.
Yes. So recently, like came out, like Jeff has been actually exposing receipts from that time, and like apparently they're still in like a legal battle to be like David needs to like kind of cover all the expenses for Jeff, things like that, making sure it's actually paid. Everything's super late all the time. And he actually showed a video that his friend was recording. Jeff was in like sitting down. They're like reviewing the docuseries episode. It's like Natalie and David, and they're watching it.
Wait, this is crazy to me. So Jeff creates a docuseries
about what happened,
specifically the incident, not just being in the vlog squad.
No, the incident.
So why would Jeff allow David and Natalie, David's assistant and friend, to come in and make edits? If
I think he was trying to be like a trooper, like a friend still at the time.
Why would you still be friends with someone that did this to you and don't give a shit about you?
I think that at the time he was realizing that that's what was going on.
Okay.
I think it's like, you know, when you're...
I'm not
like that
battling
happens,
Jeff. I'm asking because I literally don't understand.
Totally. And the thing is, like, I think a lot of people didn't either. And I think that's what woke him up.
Okay.
To be like, oh shit, like I was in a shitty ass fucking situation. I was going through the gigs with these people that don't fucking care about me.
So Jeff must have made this documentary really quickly after it happened.
I think that was when he was actually doing like surgery and like actually like going through like, yes. It was like about the whole situation, the whole thing. And... he like released the video.
David found out documentary's coming out, so David calls like, "Hey, I need to see
Natalie
what you're."
Texted him like, "We need to know what's going on.
We need to know what's going on in this documentary before it airs.
We need to watch it.
We need to watch it before it airs.
To make sure David doesn't look bad.
They want to cover David's ass. Essentially.
Yes, they want to cover David's ass.
So Jeff's like, "Come over." Watch the episode.
And so apparently it's like a very creepy vibe, because so Jeff's friend was there behind the scenes, records a video of Jeff, Natalie, and David all sitting there as Jeff has literally just got out of surgery, just gone through the fucking gigs. Like I literally sealed shit after what David did, and they're all watching like the docu-series to see if they need to make any edits on it. Just like crazy shit. So now it's kind of being rehashed and re-brought back. And so Jeff's being like, you know what? Like we're going through like legal battle right now, but I want it to be a public case. Like I want it to become this huge thing, because I really want to expose what actually happened and went down behind the scenes with like everyone involved.
So basically he was saying like he was coming out of surgery, like he still looks like hell, and David and Natalie have nothing to say about that. I mean, he's showing text messages, and the guy, Jeff's friend that was there when they were reviewing the docuseries, they were filming David from behind their back. They didn't know they were being filmed, and just showing how like they didn't give a shit.
They didn't give a fuck about Jeff.
They weren't like, oh my God, like how are you? Oh my God, I'm so sorry you got out of surgery. Like none of that.
Let's watch that docuseries.
I think at one point you had showed me where Jeff talks about he just got out of surgery, and Natalie goes, okay, cool.
Yeah, that was a text message.
Her response was, okay, cool.
It was a team. It was
it wasn't her?
Jeff's team and Natalie. Yeah, Jeff's team and Natalie.
Okay, it was a team.
And she was like, okay, cool. Just let me know. I want to make sure everyone everything's good. And it was very like, that was the vibe that was coming. It was
across. Like, we don't care. We need to know when we are going to know what's
going on in the episode. So I think that like all those things transpiring, I think that Jeff is completely woken up. Obviously, he knows exactly what kind of situation he was in with David, and that's why it's kind of like I guess
David has like an ungodly amount of money.
I guess.
I think David does.
Like Dobrik pizza.
Not even that, like from his house, like everything. The Lamborghini.
He must have hella money. He has coins.
He's giving away Lamborghinis, like they're fucking $5 bills.
Yes,
like I'm thinking David's sitting on multi millions.
1000%.
So if you nearly kill someone, why would you not want to pay them?
Yeah, and so like it was.
If you have that much money, it's not even gonna like affect your life to pay them.
Totally, and it was supposed to be like where he was covering all the expenses, but I guess apparently like the like bills are coming in late, and like things are just kind of like falling through the cracks.
David did pay for some of it.
Yeah, for the surgeries.
Oh, so
for the
David
surgery.
did cover the surgeries.
Yes, that like they had got to a consensus where it's like, okay, I will pay for your
well, that's
your recovery.
good. That's good that
Your
he
recovery.
at least.
Mhm.
I'm
But
piecing this together with you guys.
No, yeah.
One, we talked about this so long ago,
I know,
but it is coming back
it's
up
coming back,
because
that's
more
why.
details have come
There's
out.
a lot of moving parts in it. It's one of those things that's like a little harder to follow along because there's so many things. So it's like things transpired. Okay, it happened. Now it's like new information comes out about the thing that transpired years ago. So it's kind of like, oh shit, you have to kind of go back and rethink about what was going on.
Right, because I can't remember. I'm like, did David pay anything? Why wouldn't he pay
and so that was like the thing, but I guess like the payments are coming late and it's just like there's a battle with the payments too, all that kind of stuff. There's like so many things transpiring from that original thing.
And I'm sure whenever you sue someone in these situations, you typically don't just sue them for like strictly the money you lost out of your pocket.
No, I think it's like all the money you could have,
time, the money you could have been making. And I'm sure that's where David doesn't want to pay.
Exactly. And you know Jeff's suing him from like for hella coin.
Because Jeff knows how much fucking money he's got, too. You know what I mean? So Jeff knows.
What happened to Jeff's life.
Listen, people don't sue nobodies for $10 million because you know, not that Jeff's suing for $10 million. I don't know how much he's suing for, but you don't because you know you're not going to get it.
Right.
Jeff's going to go for a high dollar number, but Jeff was probably making high dollars before this happened, and it put him out of work.
Oh, for a long time.
But then Jeff probably made a lot of money off the documentary came out with, which they will look at that in court and be like,
well, I'm sure they're gonna look at everything. They're gonna be like, okay, so how much money did you really make?
So it's gonna be a lot of back and forth.
But it is gonna be like they're gonna see like the time that he was out. He was out, and he almost went blind. He's had several surgeries. That's crazy.
Well, David almost
fucking crazy.
At the bottom line of this, David almost killed his closest friend for content.
Yeah, that's the issue.
You know what I mean? Like that is the underlying thing, and the rest it gets hairy. It's like a lot of back and forth, the money in the court. But from what we understand, Jeff doesn't want to settle with David. He wants to.
He was like, I want to fucking go to court,
so he can expose exactly how horrible everyone involved in this has been.
It's honestly really wild. It really is wild. It's
you're kind of blowing my mind right now.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'll save my questions for the podcast because I don't know everything, and you answering my questions is kind of blowing my mind.
Yeah. And I don't know like everything either. This is just from what I saw like recently that came out. I was like, oh shit. Like it just kind of like all piled on. And like I saw Jeff's like his tweets about like the video and like the text messages. And I was like, whoa, like this is deep. It just gets more and more and more and deep and intense. Yeah. So it's like, you know, we'll obviously see what transpires and like what continues to happen and we'll report back. But it's really sad because I can't even imagine like, you know, you're that transpiring with like your close friend in that way.
I can't imagine you doing something like that to me.
Well, of course.
Well, one, that would never happen. Stupid. But two, David films that type of content, so it's a little more like, okay,
it's like very like Logan Paul-y.
Like he's done shit. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the kind of content they film. But I just can't imagine you like maybe trying to film something stupid and I get hospitalized and you just being like,
let's review that content.
Yeah, no, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, or me getting out of surgery and your assistant being like, okay, cool, when can we come review? I'd be like, I don't even know who you are anymore.
No, literally, like, you're a fucking monster.
That's probably how he feels about David.
I think what it is, yes.
I think he's so shocked.
You have to, like, put yourself in perspective in that way.
That's why I try to put myself in perspective, like, if it happened to me. Now, I'm shocked either way, but just, like, how deeply, like, hurt at all, physically and emotionally, Jeff must be, like, so betrayed and, like,
hurt. I can't even. And, like, I'm sure he feels betrayed by the whole entire vlog squad.
Exactly.
Because they all, like, kind of low-key, like, abandoned him for David.
They have to pick a side.
They have to go where the teat is.
They have to go where the teat
that feeds
feeds the vlog squad, and he's like the leader of the vlog squad. Do they still does the vlog squad David upload YouTube videos anymore?
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does. I think he's done with that.
Yeah.
Wow, so interesting.
It's wild. It really is that situation that just keeps on going.
I wonder what that will come out to in court, like what that's going to end up looking like. The thing is,
I do think it will be very wild for things to actually come out in court because like everything will be exposed and like into like the legal system, like you're gonna be exposing the accounts, you're gonna be exposing the receipts, you're gonna be exposing the text messages, everything's gonna be exposed. So it's gonna be like, I think, gonna be a lot more intense. It's gonna feel like the influencer version of like the Amber Heard Johnny.
Got it.
It's gonna feel very that. I feel like if it does go to court.
Wow.
Unless they could settle out of court, and like Jeff, if I was Jeff, I'd be like, then you can fucking give me $10 million then.
Jeff doesn't want to do that because he wants people to know everything.
I know.
So, and when you go to court, you risk your settlement. I know. Because you can get way less in a court ruling.
I know.
than what a settlement is. So sometimes it's easier to take a settlement, but it seems like he's really gun-ho about people figuring all this out.
He wants to know. He's like, now it's like a mission.
Wow, this is crazy.
Crazy.
Well, I guess when more develops, we'll catch you guys up on it. I mean, they just talked about it on the podcast that they had just went on, and kind of like Jeff has shared receipts on how his team responded. So we have like a little more to it.
Yeah, the pieces just keep getting added to the puzzle.
And then next time we talk about it, you're going to have to rehash all this with me, because I'm going to be like, now, did David pay Jeff? I won't remember.
Coverage.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll fill you in.
The only time I watched David Dobrik, I did watch him, but that was back when he was hot off Vine. He had just started hanging out with Zayn and Heath. Like early. And that's like when it was so funny and like they would be so crazy. And then that was it.
I get it. I love Zayn.
It got too crazy.
I love Zayn a lot.
I think Zayn and Heath are fucking hilarious. I
like them a lot.
They used to make me laugh. They reminded me, for some reason, Zayn and Heath would remind me of me and my friends in Alabama, just because how they would like smoke cigarettes and drink energy drinks, and they were just like so fucking real about all that. And I was like, wow, that's how me and my friends used to act. So
just feral animals.
Feral fucking animals. Exactly. So
no, really
that's why I thought they were so funny.
So that is it for today's episode, you guys. That is it for our rapid fire. A lot of topics.
We had a deep dive.
A lot of little tea happening.
A lot of conspiracy.
Especially like on the Kim and Kourtney's. This is more of all this is alleged and hearsay. To the end of time.
The stories have come out and they're always alleged, and then we put our conspiracy and spin and what we understand about them.
Exactly. So that's what we are doing here. We are not an encyclopedia. We are not reporters. We are two best friends shooting the shit.
Full coverage.
Fooling you in. Okay?
Ooh, I like that
fooling you in. We're just fooling you in.
One.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for being here and watching. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to our YouTube channel before you leave. And we will see you guys in our next episode where we have a special guest. So be sure and tune in.
Bye, guys.
Bye.